As you know, our Co-Create show is called Obsessions. And it's more than just like, what are we obsessed with? I'm obsessed. It's not about that. Okay, well, maybe.
Kind of
But
is.
with it, what you're going to find out is where does it come from? We get asked all the time, where does you find inspiration? You know, and I think inspiration can be more than, you know, a photo or of a rainbow. I think that's a good thing, but I think you can go further and deeper. We really want to share some of the raw elements, and I know we have these gorgeous ladies that we want to talk about where we actually started to the finished result that you got to see. Cool?
So we're bringing our first model forward, and this is Andrea. And really and truthfully, with a pre-lightened base, you know, so if we could pull up Andrea's kind of technicals, please. We'll show you where we started from, around about a level 7 at the base, about a level 9 through the ends. And then we cleaned everything out using our Schwarzkopf Blonde Me, a beautiful lightener that really lightens and leaves the hair very kind of creamy, but it also has a bond reinforcer in, so it makes the hair very, very healthy. So rather than having to add anything, it's already built in. Once we had that all cleaned off, you can see by the slide that we put up there, it's star zones from the inside being darker, and this is a mixture of our strawberry and our lilac together, which is a toner, working into another star underneath that, using the color we put on the top star at the root, and then going lighter towards the end. So we've actually got apricot through the middle end and ends of the second zone. We did two slices at the back and 3 slices at the front of a very, very heavy weave, and that was Colorworks, which is a direct dye yellow, to make this very, very strong. And then we just use ice on the perimeter to keep the perimeter nice and light. So it's going from deeper to medium, a shock of bright, and then lighter on the perimeter, almost opposite to what we've done in the past, where we've done this lighter, this medium, and that dark. We've gone the opposite direction. And I think on blonde, using toning shades, it's a really beautiful kind of way of introducing colors in there. And it can be as strong as you want it to be, or it can be as kind of finely woven as you want it to be as well. Hope you like the look.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Work it, Andrea.
Like, yes.
She's like,
I'm obsessed.
Uh-huh.
Told you.
If you could just see the difference of how these girls look now from when they first come in the morning, especially the ones that might have had a bit of a late night last night, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying anything about anyone, but she is a pro completely. So this technique is our purple haze. And as you can see, what we've done, we started off with a very deep base, a level 3. We've gone in and we've used a high lift blonde alongside a blonding cream. So with Blonde Me, we actually went in and wove in pieces as the lightener was working. 2 different bases, one leaving the hair a lot more gold than the other, so a gold and a cream working together as our canvas. Then on top of that, glazing the hair, platinumizing as we like to call it, and giving a really good base to everybody, was lilac. And that kind of gave this really steely, lilac-y tone to the hair. And then we went back in with the Colorworks Violet at the scalp and worked pieces through. So a multi-level kind of layering of colors, but the first point was getting the canvas nice and light and working with the texture of the hair, leaving the ends of the hair lighter and pieces that threaded through. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gretchen.
Gorgeous, gorgeous gradation.
Beautiful.
And you think about how color needs to gradiate through natural curl or to created curl. Next, we have Asani. Asani, in the beginning, this is something that she started out very deep. Traveling into something very light, what the whole thought of this, her technique or her method is called opalescence. What we became obsessed with Schwarzkopf Professional is number 1, not only the result to achieve our method, but also they introduced the new Blonde Me 9 Plus. right? And what that is decolorizing, but it's a full spectrum that you have toning, you have high lifting, you have white blending. But there are shades, especially in trend relevant, there are these shades that are in love with pastels, but sometimes it gets tricky that you're afraid that it's going to get too deep, or you're really trying to get the right dilution, and then you over dilute and it's too sheer and you have to reapply. Well, that's a pain in the cool up. With the Blonde Me toning, what's nice is it's predictable and it is not progressive. Into the first lift, what we needed to do is there's a method that I love called double blonding. So working into the double blonding, I apply the application. It was 6% at the new zone, 10, right, or 3% on the ends. As soon as I apply, I reapply a fresh mixture on top of that because you're lifting in the alkaline state to achieve something this cool. I mean, with the sauning, how can something this cool be so hot? I know. Do you like that? Cheeky. I'm obsessed.
She's melting.
Into the technique, what we've done is we've alternated 3 different Blonde Me toning. There's a lilac, there's a combination between the steel blue and lilac, as well as there is an ice incorporation and strawberry. If you can see the gradation, it's curvature sections. It's not about just taking circles. It's taking curves. And as you see, I'm going to spin. I don't want to step on your sleeves. You can see that a shadow route has become very popular. And it's not just about blonde and pastel. It's about all of your spectrums. But the shadow route needs to melt, and it needs to gradiate versus, it's a personal thing. I don't like to see where color starts and stops unless you're using it for a graphic effect. Does that make sense? Yeah? Again, give them face and boom. Here you can see that melt and the ice, as the hair opens and expands, what we see is a deeper into a medium into something really light reflective. It has great longevity to it, and it's something that you can do with every visit or even as a micro touch-up in between. Yeah? I hope you like it. It's really simple and cool. Now here, we have Christy. With Christy, number one, I'm obsessed with her because she's a maze, right? But with Christy, this is an evolution. Christy, I needed to do something into a red, right? And a red that I needed was something that was going to be a saturated red. I like to take hybrid combinations. A lot of my reds, I like to actually enhance it with 5 grams of a green base, or in Schwarzkopf, it's a 3. It's coded as a 3. Or this would be something that has more of a green but teeters on green-yellow. By combining this combination together, what it's doing, you can see in her before, there's a cleanup. Clean up and balance out the whole entire canvas. Working then, you can see, going down forward, there is a lot of different shade range, turn to the side, but also there's the depth underneath. There's a theory in hair color that I live by, is that your light is only as strong as the dark that sits beside it, right? I've said it for years, I still believe it, and I do it with every creation. Here, working on the underneath.
He also, let's face it, he couldn't have found a lighter husband to have, you know, to sit next to his dark.
Aww, I'm obsessed with you, baby.
A light is only as strong as the dark it sits beside.
And you're welcome. Remember, it's only as strong as the dark, so I love you. So here, what we have is we have the underneath of the zone that was done within a 6-level 9-9, or a double violet. Right? Because what I wanted is I needed something that's going to have tonal contrast, but I needed gradation. Give them full back. We work between a combination of a 9-9-8, which is a red violet, but I use it in conjunction with a 6-level double 8, which is a double red. Right? So what we have is a nuance of violet, but I didn't want her to be purple. Yeah? And it gave great saturation. Moving forward, you can see that there's gradation that goes into a copper. Right, the copper or a 7, but there's more. Last year, I actually worked through, thank you. I introduced a technique called PVP, right? All panels, all points, and all valleys is about color movement. Underneath what we've done on the right side, you can see that we've done a decolorized panel that into the interchangeable shape, I've done a decolorizing. I know, I heard it. I know. Wait, I know. So here, what it's doing is it completely changes what is Christy's effect. You can see the layering in between the semi-permanence of the Schwarzkopf Professional Vibrance. I then layered in color works between a magenta and a yellow, which I think is really quite rad. It melts, it moves. Thank you. But wait, there's more. So here, again, I'm obsessed. I had to evolve it. If I move it to the other side, I know. So what happens is now I moved into a layering in of a magenta and blue and then a blue combination. So wherever she shifts it, I get to see the cool melting through the warm into the cool pickup of magenta and yellow, or opposite, right? Christy lives in this hair and she is so rad and she just messes it up. When she messes it up, it just brings a trifecta of My Pretty Pony. So, if you got to be a mermaid, it's time to My Pony go. Thank you, Christy, so much. Thank you.